Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Summer Premier League Season 3. This is Week 5, the Beaver Brigade versus the Krusty Trap. I'm your host, Connor, followed by my co-host, Joe, and we're going to bring you all the action live. Right now, we got the Beaver Brigade with Maokai, Senna, Aatrox, Ari, and Gragas. I'm liking the Nautilus band there. They got the hook character, but it doesn't matter. Got the Thresh picked out. Looking nice. Love me some hook characters.
Yeah, we got that live action. The set is pretty strong right now. Senna Maokai bot, it looks like, and then Barbecue Leona will be out for this series. So Beaver Brigade has a sub that will be piloting the Maokai, I do believe. Gragas support, I've been told. Okay, interesting. Okay, just kidding. I was right. Maokai support, Gragas jungle. And then the Garrett top's kind of interesting into the Aatrox. For the Krusty Trap. So
that's a swag pick. You know, they're running the Krusty Trap and Garen's doing all the trap action up top lane. I love it.
Yep. They do pick Jinx Thresh again for the Krusty Trap. This obviously worked against Fraud Watch. It was quite effective. Oh, and we also have Asian Jason playing support and Truth Remains. So the sub for Barbecue Leona has
that's going to be
role
interesting.
Swapped into the jungle.
Just to clarify for everybody, this is a replay, so these games have already been concluded, but we are going to just kind of cast everything as if we don't know what's going on. We have a invade coming in from the bots, or from the blue side. Asian Jason leading tough with the Maokai, front lining it. Looking for a pick here. They're checking all the bushes. Got to make sure there's no 5 stacks available. There is one person, Silva's in the bush, realizes it, and she's going to get away from that. We have a flash from Asian Jason going out, and there it is. We got her caught, but Asian Jason was the only one able to flash and do anything about it, so he's going to just kind of hopefully forget that ever happened.
Yeah, Thim ends up starting Q, so he's not able to chain the root, and then Gragas nor Ari wanted to expend their flash, which I think is understandable. I think taking away the Jinx flash is really good, even though obviously Maokai, you do want to have the offensive flash. Also, he does not have Hex Flash, so it's a bit unfortunate for Asian Jason.
Going back to just normal lane. I'm liking Jason going to the bot side. So there was a sub coming in from the Beaver Brigade, and actually I do know Asian Jason and Truth Remains a little bit have played together. So there's going to be a little bit of synergy coming in from this bot side, so I'm pretty sure that's why he went for the switch from jungle to support.
Interesting, yeah. Asian Jason, I mean, he's a guy who's played a lot of roles. He considers himself one of the 10 good players in the league, if anyone was wondering. So I feel like his support should be pretty proficient. And then obviously Thim is the player who's had a pretty high peak in solo queue, but has struggled recently, especially in the last couple series. And the bot lane of Silva and Alturas is quite formidable. Even though Silva did end up starting this lane at 2/3 HP, they are already able to control the wave, getting the push early with those Jinx rockets. Although now Truth Remains comes down. Asian Jason does not have flash. Neither does Silva.
Oh, yeah. Asian Jason going in there for the root, and then there's going to be a little bit of range damage. Greg is going to pick up that first blood. I don't know if that was the red buff, but he got a little bit of that dot damage, so good for him. Got that picked up. Oh, he's not done yet. Sitting in the top left. Silva's going to go check that, taking a lot of face damage. Greg is looking to finish off flash and hits him with the barrel. Perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely huge. When you're playing against the Krusty Trap, there's a single person on this team you can lose to, and it's Silva. So it's really massive that they just put the bot lane that far behind already with that gank. OT Gator started on the top side of the map, wasn't able to come down and help out. Honestly, I don't even know if that's true that he started on the top side of the map. But either way, he did not path a bot within too quickly. So that's massive because now Jinx has no flash, Thresh has no flash. Honestly, I'm surprised that gank ended up working. I thought they would just be able to live, especially without Gragas coming into flash. I think they tried to trade a bit of damage and ended up dying, which is pretty unfortunate for the side of the Krusty Trap. And now the Gragas is 2-0.
Nice little lead for them. Shout out to Alturas for trying to keep that big farm for Silva once she got back. It's Always nice to see supports doing that as a support player. Oh, this Garen is just not doing so hot right now. Dunk is just slapping him up with the sword, and Garen's sword is definitely not as big as Aatrox's.
Yeah, honestly, this feels like a borderline unwinnable game for
Dunk
the
just
Krusty Trap.
it's like he just heard me and goes, yeah, I'll just go in there and just finish it off, finish the job. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have one of the most dominant carry top laners against a team that put all of their money on bot and jungle. So it's just automatically hard because Thim and Jason are not going to get absolutely rolled bot no matter what. Obviously they're down a bit of CS at the moment, but they're not going to die 20 times and make it so that Jinx can carry the game.
Nice little hook. It's not gonna do much. Maokai's super tanky, so he's just gonna be eating everything. Other than that, not much going on. Everyone's looking for an opening right now. I know as Thresh, you're just gonna be wanting to look for as many hooks as you can, but hooking the Maokai isn't gonna do much. Maokai just sitting right on top of Thim though, so here comes the Hex Flash, and actually was able to find the hook on Thim. Followed up with Silva's rockets, or sorry, the rocket pods, whatever they are. Found the root, but Asian Jason just trying to kick Silva off, and now Thim is in a position to take a kill. Eats Arcturus, and now Silva super low, has to kite right here. Doing a little bit of damage, and there's a little bit of help left. Oh, but Asian Jason gets the 1v1. Asian Jason just... Oh, sorry, continue.
No, I was just gonna say I don't even know if this is over, but it looks like it might be. OT Gator comes back in. He missed the seismic shove. Thim faked like he was gonna walk up and then immediately walk down. But that was absolutely huge for the bot lane of Beaver Brigade because Alturas committed onto Thim, but Silva was out of range, so he wasn't able to hit onto the Senna and then took the Lantern a little too late to commit to that play. At that point, Alturas' health bar was very, very low. And then Senna chasing you down is not the position you want to be in. That champion has quite a bit of range, and the slow on the Q, ever since that was added, makes it very, very hard to kite away from. And now with 0-4-0 for the Krusty Trap bot lane and a kill for Dunk, the story is almost written at this point. As a World Soup going in on a Godspeed.
Well, yeah, we got a little bit of mid lane action going on. Not too much, just a couple bit of trades. They're just trading back and forth those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Got to do it easy. OT Cater though for a gank right now. World of Soup going in. Got to be trying to dodge everything while OT Cater goes in for the rock field, throwing rocks at him like it's nothing. But World of Soup is just gonna dash away with the Ahri ultimate. So easy.
Yeah, and then again, Space Walrus in trouble.
Taking a little bit of sword action. Oh, we go back to the bot side now. Here we see Thim in a kiting situation. Thresh missed everything. He's going to eat a little bit of damage. Throws the Lantern on themselves. A little bit too late for that one. You're not going to be shielding the air right there. And top lane, Dunk possibly tower diving right here. Oh, okay. We know we have Alturas going in on Jason. No, doesn't want to commit to that hook. That was a scary hook. I don't know if they caught Truth Remains up there in the corner, but probably did not want to go on that one. There's a 3v3 situation potentially lining up here on the bot side. OT Gate are going to get found out there by a little sapling. They continue to run mid. Here comes World of Soup now, following up for their bot lane, going to take that dragon.
Yeah, Godspeed is nowhere to be found. He was on a reset, so that's pretty much gives them priority to the Drake. They're taking it pretty slow, though, because Thim is still bot. So if the Krusty Trap wanted to contest, they hypothetically could, but I think with the early leads already on the bot side, as well as the jungler, it's going to be really, really hard for TKT to actually do anything. And Dunk took the Krugs and is now taking their red buff away from Gator, too. This just feels so bad when you're jungling, and both of your soul lanes are getting pushed, so you're not able to defend those camps. There's not really much the OT Gator could do here. He's going to have to take his Raptors and hope for the best. But yeah, when the Aatrox is already in such a dominant position, it's really tough to play.
So when you've invested all of your resources into your bot side, and your bot side is 0-4, how do you take this mid game back? Oh my goodness, we have some bot lane action going off right now. They're trying to make some comeback action happening, but Alturas is just too low to do anything. And now Silva's in a 2v1 situation. Thim just shooting lasers at him like it's Space Wars. And Silva's just gonna flash away right there and back off and try to forget that ever happened.
Yeah, Altura's still looking for the play. He knows that they have to try something to get back in this game because getting silver gold is their only chance. OT Gator might be caught out here.
Oh yeah, there goes Guy's speed. Falls to the World of Soup, the Ari true damage, and Greg picks up a 3rd kill. So now they continue this this clean blackout streak. I don't know how the Krusty Trap is going to respond to this.
Yo, World Soup is a smurf, man. That was so clean. They ult in, throw the no-look charm onto Godspeed, flash away from Gator at the last second. Very, very clean from the Ari there. And it's, again, 2 for 0. 8-0 now is the kill score in favor of the Beaver Brigade. And the top wave is frozen. Space Walrus, you no longer get to play the game, but you're going to try anyways.
Yeah, he might have to go back to the tutorial after this game. It's looking very rough up there. The Garen pick is pretty strange now that I'm thinking about it. I didn't realize that it was Dunk on this team, and I know that he's one of the top-rated top laners, and so I feel like you'd want to go for a less like kind of carry pick. Garen strikes me more as like a pick that is like going to be doing a lot of damage, picking up a lot of slack for your team, and I don't see the Garen doing that this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I imagine it's comfort here for Space Walrus. Obviously, when you're one of your team's lower elo players, you really just want to be on something that you're not going to die on. And honestly, being down 40 CS, 1 kill to a top 2 top laner is not a bad outcome. The Krusty Trap's win condition is, okay, we're going to win through bot. But obviously that early gank really just made the game so hard to play. Jason blew the flash of Silva, and then the early gank, they try to fight out of the 2v3 end of the tower, and both bot laners for TKT end up dying. Even still, Silva up 17 CS. Kind of a remarkable feat here on the Jinx when you're a 5-death bot lane and you're still winning lane. Very, very impressive, but at this point, Tim and Jason know that to win the game, they just have to not die. They don't have to kill Silva for the rest of the game as long as Dunk, World Soup, and Truth Remains are controlling so much of the map.
I definitely say that how your mental is affects your gameplay. Like, it's straight up. You can see how someone will like click around if they're like tilted, and I have to give it up to Silva. It's another feat of a highly ranked player is when you are losing, you find ways to know what your win condition is. Oh, Truth Remains with the barrel sniper. Might as well have a gun with that barrel. That was crazy, and it's just gonna walk away free. But I was gonna say that Silva is playing super well and is just got like a really strong mental, I can tell, with even while being down. And OT Gator just gonna get basically just taken out of the game right there, absolutely deleted by blue squad.
Yeah, jungle is not a fun role when you're this far behind. I really feel for Gator here. He basically just can't play the game at all.
Yep.
Obviously, trying to farm up, get the Krugs, but without the priority in any lane except for bot, you're never safe in your own jungle. And the alternative is just slowly bleeding out and losing the game, going down significant amounts of golden XP, but tries to get the Krugs and does pay the price.
Yeah, they're gonna the red team's gonna have to find a win condition quick here, otherwise they are going to bleed out. The blue team are just all over the map and dominating. Looks like we might get a little bit of a setup right here. World of Soup is gonna face tank a hook. Nope, just barely misses. Alturas does not take that. Godspeed is gonna want to take that. Not turret. The lantern gets away nice right there. And they're gonna have to reset up for a Baron fight, or sorry, a Dragon fight. Alturas goes in for a flash hook, hits it super nice, but it's just gonna get eaten alive by all the damage. Barrel's gonna separate everybody. Now red team looking at about half health, but it is a 3v3 situation. Space Walrus and Dunk are just duking it out up top. They're just gonna give Dunk a little bit of time to eat the lane up, and while they thin out everybody else on red team, Silva goes back in and takes out them. And as well as Truth Remains, and now red team Silva pretty much has just eaten the entire blue squad alive right there at that dragon fight.
Yeah, that was absolutely massive. Alturas goes in with the flash hook and rakes Jason over the coals with the Talia E. They're able to find the first kill, and then Silva gets the reset and plays the rest of the fight immaculately. Godspeed as well, doing good damage on the Swain, maintaining the ult. Now has the Malignants. And crucially, the shutdown gold, one of them went to Jinx, and the other two went to Talia. So now Gator up in CS, 2-2-1, finishes Shadow Flame in 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. If there was some miracle chance for TKT to win this game, that fight might be it.
That was definitely a good spot for Silva to pick something up right there. Got a kill and a couple assists, so and the dragon too, so it's gonna be nice. M-Tech dragon, not the greatest, but you know, it's definitely something, and a little bit of gold from that as well.
Yeah, and the real value of taking one of the strikes early in the game is, you know, theoretically you give your Jinx 5 more minutes to scale and hopefully 1v9. The Soul now is at, you know, almost 30 minutes for Beaver Brigade. Of course, the missing variable that we haven't really discussed yet is this Aatrox, who is on 9 CS a minute and is not getting weaker.
He is just continuing to go in, just his pokes are absolutely menacing right now. He's just stabbing this Garen every single time, and he's just taking like a fifth of his health, and it's just not fun. I can't imagine Space Walrus is having a good time at all. Almost double the gold up on Space Walrus too. That is absolutely mental.
Yeah, Space Walrus having a bit of a rough go of it. Still has only died once though. It's you know, it's tough being a lower elo player in Summit because you're kind of just destined to fail in the laning phase of the game. You're not going to get the jungle resources. You're going to be playing at someone with significantly more matchup knowledge pretty much every single time. And really the most you can do is be 0-1-0 and hope that your team carries you. And Space Walrus is doing just that. He might be in a bit of trouble here as Truth remains maybe looking for the dive. Some action bot though.
Oh yeah, we got Thim trying to snipe from the backside, half health already. Silva almost dead, but Asian Jason now out of fuel and has to retreat, turns back around, gets hooked as well, and OT Gator finds a kill on the backside, throwing rocks, but the tower's just doing so much damage. Ari comes in and snipes away Silva. There was a lantern there for hope, but it wasn't enough. There was a big Ari right in front of your face. A nice hook going out from Alturas there, followed up with the Flay. Godspeed gonna go full Giga mode, flash right back onto the Ari, and then take the kill. And meanwhile, we have topside going down. Dunk and Truth Remains just doing their job, yanking the Garen, setting up the Rift Herald, and now going for the big siege.
Yeah, I mean that plays could be worse for TKT, honestly. They get another kill onto Silva, and OT Gator collects a kill onto Thim there, very close at the end as he ulted under tower. Almost wasn't able to pick that one up. And then Alturas, that dash predict on the hook was nasty. This guy's Thresh is probably bannable. You know, when Fraudwatch played against them, the Thresh was a huge impact in Game 2 as well as Game 3. Playing really, really clean so far, other than a few snafus and some of those early skirmishes in lane. But you know, when you're automatically playing from behind from the level 1 from the early gang, obviously it's hard to fault a player trying to make plays when he knows that his lane is the win condition. But TKT in a bit of a rough spot, still 6k down. Jason?
A little bit of that going on, but we have a bunch of action going on as well. It looks like we have the red team just getting sniped away. There we have a big barrel to separate everybody while Dunk just takes away Thresh. Silva's still alive though, throws out a big rocket trying to snipe out them. Now has to kite Dunk a little bit while Truth Remains just barrels away the Swain. And now the Beaver Brigade is almost clean aced the entire team. Silva's a huge member to be alive still, so she's going to leave everybody up with the Jinx, and then blue team is now going to go for the dragon setup right now. It's still down for 30 seconds, but that gives them some time to clear all these wards.
Yeah, Dunk arrives to the party, and the party ended as soon as he showed up. Silva is just not able to put out enough damage to kill the Aatrox, even under the tower. That fight really felt like TKT just kind of got stat checked. Obviously, OT Gator getting picked at the start did not help their cause because the rock field can limit the Aatrox's ability to dominate the fight. But Gator was picked out there, and then Dunk just controlled the rest of the fight in tandem with the rest of his team. And it looks like the Dragon will be on the menu here for TKT as their gold lead is now to almost 8K.
It's gonna be Alturas and Godspeed looking to take something away from the blue team. Godspeed going in trying to 1v1 World of Soup. Alturas and Truth Remains just going at it, but the Dragon is just eating Truth Remains alive. He gets away with a sliver of health though, and OT Gator is just gonna get taken away by the meat grinder of blue team. Dunk coming in from the Dragon Pit, gonna slash over the wall, but there is a nice little juicy blast plant, and nice attempt to snipe the Dragon by Silva, but the blue team was able to 3-man it and secure it.
Yeah, more dominance out of the Beaver Brigade here. It looks like they are now firmly in control of this one. The Jinx approaching Infinity Edge, trying to farm up on those camps, taking the Raptors as we speak. But overall, it's tough. Silva is actually behind Thim in gold too. So there's not a gold lead anywhere for the side of the Krusty Trap. Even Alturas is quite a bit behind Jason there. Godspeed needs to be really careful against this Aatrox on the side lane. Giving this guy any more kills is kind of a recipe for disaster at this point.
Yeah, they're gonna try to look to potentially get Silva fed back up, but it's gonna be quite the grind to get there.
Yeah, at this point you might as well start talking about game 2 draft strategy. That's what I always do when my team is getting smacked, which we often do. But you know, I think honestly this one, at least as far as the early game lead, is
nice little hex flash, and there's the Silva root combo to follow it up on Jason, but Jason's just going to switch their targets as they go down. OT Gator going to drop really low, and Truth Remains is going to pick it up with the Ignite, I believe. And now there is a 3v3 while the top laners just duke it out, and we all know how that story is going to go down with a 6-0 Aatrox. It's 90 farm up right now.
Yeah, it's not a bad look by Alturas. The Hex Flash over the wall, and they do connect onto Maokai, though, which is obviously not the ideal target, just because they don't have the damage to burst him. They chain the Seismic Shove with the Chompers, as the Baron is going to go ahead and be started up here with OT Gator down. He does not have the ultimate available, so he's going to have to walk to this one. I think TKT is going to have to give this. There's no Super Mega Death Rocket either, so this looks good as gone.
Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know what it would take, but yeah, there's absolutely nothing. That is blue team Baron, so now they've just amplified their lead, and they are going to try to respond with the win angle, probably.
So it's a 22-minute Baron, so at this point there's still a lot of sitting gold on the map. For the side of Beaver Brigade, they want to take down some of these inner towers. The mid-inner is probably the most important tower in the game at this point. So I expect them to make a concerted effort to knock that one down. And TKT will leave their bot lane mid. Nothing atypical there, obviously, to try to clear the way with the Jinx Rockets. Silva is now on 2 items, so picking up the Infinity Edge definitely helps. Is it enough to kill the 6-0 Aatrox and the 6-1 Gragas? Sources say no, but maybe someday.
Jinx is gonna have to do some monster kiting if she's gonna take out the Gragas or the Aatrox. Dodging all the barrels and dodging all the sword slashes is gonna be quite the task.
Yeah, there are just several abilities that Silva has to wait out. Obviously, the cask is a huge one. If Silva steps forward and gets flipped by the cask into the front line, it's game over for TKT. The charm, and then the Maokai root.
That one, yeah, it's like if you can dodge the ulti, but if you get close to the Maokai, it's just game over from there, assuming that they have the other members of their squad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Jason just kind of walks into the fight, maybe trying to bait Silva in, and then converts with a root onto him. Just because if they kill the Jinx, obviously there's not much else to do in terms of DPS. The Swain is not going to be able to kill your Aatrox, and the Talia won't either. It would probably take, Gator like 7 ability cycles with Dunk not hitting back to kill Aatrox at this point. Just because, ooh, Alturas.
Going in with these Hex Flashes, Alturas has been doing this all game and has been very clean with them. Still alive, looking for some more CC, and then drops to Thim, and Thim takes another one as well. But while Truth Remains goes down, is able to pick up OT Gator.
Yeah, I mean, I like that from Alturas. Obviously, you got to win somehow, and I think looking for the Senna is the way to do it. The champs are very squishy. If they connect that hook, they connect the seismic shove, and they get the kill. But at this point now, the Baron's still on, the Baron buff, and it's the Siege is on. Oh, still has the flash
coming
away.
in, has now left the top lane island and is joining up with the team to potentially finish this game. Looks like they might try to get they're going to go for the dragon now instead of going for the siege angle. I like it though. One step closer to the dragon soul.
Yeah, I guess they really want to reset that timer. It's a bit of a questionable choice because their Baron buff was available for a few more seconds. So I guess they just thought they couldn't really get anything there off that last wave and decided to opt into the Drake. Because now the soul timer is exactly 30 minutes. So TKT will have to fight. Obviously, I think, when you're playing into HR Skygus, these champions have a lot of innate healing. Ari also has some healing. Senna and Maokai have quite a bit as well. You're not going to be able to take the fights into the Ocean Soul, pretty much ever. So they need to go and coin flip it and hope that Gator can get the steal. He does have flash available now, so he holds on to that for the next 5 minutes. Maybe does the drive-by, ride the wall smite. Can maybe save the game, but otherwise TKT is on a 5-minute timer. And they need to get 15 minutes worth of scaling in within that 5 minutes to have a chance.
Yeah, Jinx is running down the mid lane. Hopefully she's going to take all the farm. I don't know if everyone's going to try to give it to her. I think she's actually going to go up topside now and potentially solo the Aatrox, it looks like. But while she's doing that, we have a 3-man 3v3 situation going on. Alturas lands another hook. Jason has been forced to flash away. And here comes Godspeed flashing in Giga mode, but is taken down by Truth Remains. And there goes, OT Gator goes down to the Gragas ulti to finish the job off. And now the Beaver Brigade are just going to run this down, potentially take the inhibitor, and also potentially take the game. They have every single one of their members left alive.
Yeah, this might be the game. Silva does not have the ultimate available. He does have Ghost. Yeah, Godspeed there ends up popping the ult after the initial damage from OT Gator, tries to walk forward or flash forward to get the value, and kind of just ends up dying for nothing. And now it's a tough hold for Space Walrus and Silva. Garen obviously has no hearts to shoot. The silence has been used, and Dunk immediately flashes.
Garen's spinning with all the hopes and dreams, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Silva just doing all the work, but cannot handle it. The team is just ignoring the Garen and going straight for Silva. And I think they're just going to try to ignore the rest of the team and just take this game. It's looking like it's donezo.
Yeah, this one looks pretty cooked here. It's a really dominant first game for the side of Beaver Brigade. Truth Remains, check him PC. Is this guy a Smurf? Who is he? We'll see on the next episode of La Liga Investigates. But overall, super dominant performance off the blown flash early. Really, really well played for Beaver Brigade.
Welcome back to Summer Premier League, Season 3, Week 5. This is the Beaver Brigade versus the Krusty Trap, and this is Game 2. We have one win up from the Beaver Brigade. Last time they went for an invade, and this time it looks like they're just going to 5-stack the bot bush.
Yeah, playing against Blitzcrank Alturas on that. I also really like the Callista from Silva. I'm really excited to see this. Not sure why they picked Kindred here, to be honest, but we didn't obviously take a deep look at the draft, so not sure what the pick order and some of the thinking was. OT Gator also has Ghost on the Kindred, which, you know, it's kind of like Graves. You know, you have the built-in dash, so I guess you can get away with it. Not sure what the meta is for Kindred. I played that a ton last season, but haven't picked it up recently, so take Gator's word for it on this one. Rocking with the Ghost, and then Space Walrus on Ornn I think is good. It's a little more effective than Garen from behind. Obviously, you still have the CC, and if you can get the XP, you can get to the ornaments. I also think Nico is probably Godspeed's best champion, at least as far as summit performance. He had a really nice game against Fraudwatch there on the Nico. Yeah, Jason again on support, this time with the Janna, and then Truth Remains on the Vi. So a lot of engage here for the side of Beaver Brigade. We got the Ashe Ultimate World Super, the Glacial Prison. And then, of course, Assault and Batter, your cease and desist, whatever tactless name they gave Vile.
I'm really liking the Blitzcrank pick here. Blitzcrank is my he's my one trick, so every time I see a Blitzcrank, I'm just like, okay, let's go.
Nice.
Ready to see some big hooks.
I don't think I've ever seen Alturas,
right
though. Yeah, Space Walrus almost just died.
We did see Alturas' Nautilus get banned game 1, and I'm assuming that their Thresh got banned game 2, or this game, considering how, even though they didn't have a crazy score, they were just hooking left and right with the hex flash hooks.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Thresh is quite formidable. I mean, Blitzcrank, obviously, you know, you can play a similar style, where you kind of play outside the bush, use your hex flash. You can play fairly aggressive in lane, and then the Callista pairs well with it just because you get the push.
Yeah, and putting Blitzcrank with Silva too as well, so you just basically just door dashing kills right to the Silva. It's amazing. Gotta hit them though. It is a tough skill shot to hit, especially when everyone is just like, that's his whole thing. So it's like you see a Blitzcrank and there you go. Bot lane is just trying to space it out perfectly because one of those hooks is basically a death sentence.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Callista W passive, you do increased damage to whoever your marked ally hits or CCs. I don't remember exactly how it works, but Alturas now
gank. Alturas going for a hook and field golds it, and is now going to be kited away. The Jan and Ashe combo are a really good combo pick. It can be pretty intimidating at first considering they have no mobility, but if they do dodge that hook, they are a perfect pair to kite Blitzcrank from running away, especially with him slowing himself. Going for another huge hook here. Alturas hits them and ignites them right away. OT Gator coming in for the support, but they're going to be protected by their tower, not finding any kills today.
Yeah, it's a good hook there by Alturas. They don't really have the health bars to dive. You don't really want to take that risk that early in the game. And obviously, the Kindred in that situation isn't able to do too much as Godspeed lands a nice route. But it is lane dominance as Alturas flashes forward.
Going big, but I don't know if Silva has the damage yet. Has a little bit of spears, but probably checking in for the execution, doesn't have it. Going in for a Q there. Almost finishes it off, but not quite. That was still a nasty hook from Alturas. I think it was just a little preemptive.
Yeah, I really like that they're trying to win the game this aggressively through bot. You know, flashing under the tower to land a hook is not something you see most Blitzcranks do. Space Walrus, you might die for that E forward. I wish you best of luck, sir. Run as fast as you can.
Absolutely getting gripped and is just eating these maces, but he picked a good character to take a lot of damage.
Does live, has to burn the flash. Not great. Silva going to go ahead and clock our recall here as the wave is pushing into him. A bit of a CS lead here in the bot side, about 10 minions. The same can be said for mid lane, except in favor of World Soup. And then obviously The 20 CS differential there in the top lane between Dunk and Space Walrus is quite significant. So the Mordekaiser will be formidable, as was the Aatrox last game, as is Dunk in most of these games. Godspeed out of mana here in a bit of a precarious spot. You really just need to back and TP on the cannon minion. I think he's going to stay, though.
Yeah, it looked like World of Soup was trying to pressure up to potentially keep him to stay. Here comes Alturas going in for another field goal. Looks like doesn't catch the hook. And Silva's just going to try to jump up there to eat as many spears. And now the kite machines are kicking in. Ashe gets the Q off, throwing in the volley, is throwing out as many auto attacks as she can. Picks up a lot of damage right there.
Yeah, Silva kind of able to defend Alturas as the fight continues.
We got a little jungle fight going on now. Dragon switching out to Truth Remains. Oh, and we're up top lane, I guess, to see this farming action going out. Never mind. Forget what was happening jungle side. Okay, there we go. So, not sure. I think it looks like just Kindred probably dashed away over the wall, but Dragon's gonna go out to red team. It looks like. No, I don't think there's gonna be any contestants for that.
Yeah, Gator trying to maybe sneak the Drake there. It doesn't work out. As Truth Remains did actually end up checking that. Obviously, it's pretty precarious for Gator. His mid lane does not have priority, and his bot lane just took a bad trade, so he does just opt to jump over the wall, which is definitely the correct decision there. Not able to finish that one off.
Actually finding a bunch of damage onto Dunk, but I think Dunk realizes that he's just going to out-damage this Ornn, and Space Roll is going to run away, and that loses that trade, actually, in the end of it all. OT Gator waiting for a possible gank here. Alturas coming up. W's, and we're going to see the farming action up top. Actually, Dunk might be farming the Space Walrus. Hits the big claw. Space Walrus actually gets clawed away from the dash and is going to be picked up. First blood going out by Dunk. Well played, and World of Soup going in for a big dive. Kamikaze that one. Going to be a 1-1 mid lane, but definitely sends a message.
I mean, World Soup does die into the tower, which is not the worst thing because you get the wave in. But Godspeed does have TP. He was kind of trapped in lane, never elected to use the TP earlier as a dive might be set up here.
Here comes a flash Q from the Vi, going in big for a dive, and they're going to find that squishy Blitzcrank, and they might get away with their lives just barely with a sliver of health. That tower doing so much damage, but it's not enough to pick up the Ashe or the Janna, and they're going to split a play amongst everybody as well as 2 kills.
That was clean. Jason showing that he might actually be a top 10 player in the league there. Able to tank the tower, very calculated, right on the edge of the range, and then Thim barely survives the last tower shot. That type of play is just absolutely huge. Gator gets picked bot side, trying to set up the gank, and then the dive onto Silva and Alturas. This is the Krusty Trap's only win condition, right, is this Kalista Blitzcrank lane. And by applying some counter pressure from the jungle, Truth Remains, setting his lane up for success as Space Walrus gets a trip to the Bronx.
Dunk going in for some more damage, and Space Walrus just gonna ulti back in and is kind of sticking around a little bit, and I don't know if that was the right call, but they are gonna be taken out by the meat grinder of Mordekaiser.
Yeah, this one is, you know, I wouldn't want to hear what my solo queue teammates would think of this particular game state. Yeah, and there's so much vision now on the bot side. Jason setting up the wards pretty proactively. At this point, Beaver Brigade pretty much knows that if you protect bot, i.e. like stop dying, you're going to win the game.
Here comes Alturas coming in for a nice hook out onto Jason, and is gonna get ultied away. That was a good counter ulti to take off the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank doesn't have a lot of steam, but does have some punches. Going to go in there, and Thim just ignoring him completely, doing so much damage onto Silva. Misses the arrow. Alturas with a nice little dodge right there. Pulls in World of Soup, trying to lock her down while the turret does so much damage. And actually, they were able to pick up 2 kills from the red side.
Yeah, Silva claims the bounty there as Thim dies to the tower shot. That was a fat tower shot. The initial fight was slightly misplayed by Silva. He cleansed the exhaust after about a second of it ticking out. I think he was considering whether or not to walk away and hold the cleanse or cleanse and fight forward. But with Alturas continuing to walk forward, he opted into the cleanse. But it's like you were saying earlier, Connor. As soon as you're the one running away from Ashe Janna, you're losing. The second that you're not moving forward, it's pretty doomed. And obviously that trade doesn't go in their favor.
You know, normally you see a Blitzcrank go for something like a mobility boots pick, and especially with like Ashe and Janna, you'd think you would be able to lock him down, but I know Alturas is going for the Swifty, which is a great pick against both these players right now, because if you miss a hook, it is just going to be game over for the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, Swifty values here huge. Alturas is a pretty smart player. Good itemization here from him. Obviously, they're still fighting an uphill battle. OT Gator is here, walks on a ward, but they might be able to look for something if they find the hook.
He didn't use it, so he still has it available, and we're just going to go back up mid laner. Looks like World of Soup is pretty low, but is sticking around. Knows their team is back up and is going to go in and try to find something to happen. Godspeed knows this and is going to just back off it. Truth Remains goes in for the ulti, locks him down, and Nico's going to try to ulti, but it's not enough for the meat grinder of your 3 people coming in from the Beaver Brigade.
Yeah, not sure if Godspeed just didn't have the W available. He kind of waited a while to use it. I think getting that move speed, sending the clone, maybe diverting the attention, could have lived there. Either way, it's a tough scenario. Good baiting by World Soup. Flashing the low health bar with 2 additional members in the area as Alturas goes in.
Yeah, Alturas has all the patience in the world, finds a nice hook onto Jason. Jason tries to ulti away, but it's not enough. Silva has the execution. Alturas just has all these hooks on lock and a wait for a little bit of cooldown. Goes in for the knockup. Silva just gets away with a sliver of health, and the Blitzcrank is going to actually take that one.
Wow, that was pretty nasty there from Alturas. The knockup, and then walks around the corner to land the hook for the kill. The bot lane now for TKT sharing the scoreline 2-2-2. And Silva now with a pretty good CS lead. Space Walrus down 50 CS. Couple kills here top. But holding on, he might be dead here though. I think he's probably had enough health.
I think Dunk's going to go for a play first. No, he's actually going to go for the proxy angle instead, while the red team is going to try to pick the dragon right here. Dunk trying to put all the pressure in the world while the rest of the red team is picking up the objectives.
Yeah, getting these strikes is huge for Beaver Brigade. This is
really nice step on there from Nico, picking up more trades, but I like to see that Q, but World of Soup going back in, has their jungler there. Ooh, nice little Hex belt to dodge that. That was actually super clean.
Honestly, a bit of a perplexing play from World Soup. It uses the flash instead of baiting with the Frozen Tomb, with that Lissandra ultimate, and it ends up being favorable for TKT. They're going to crash a wave on the tower. World Soup has to back, so no one for BB is going to fight that wave.
They're going to clamp right here onto OT Gator, and it looks like they're going to go down as well as Godspeed getting pretty low. Double kill for the Mordekaiser. And now Alturas is actually going in here, hooking them, and Silva might just have enough damage. Boom, headshot coming in with the spear right there, and that might be that's definitely another play for Silva.
Yeah. Interesting interaction that I despise as a Kindred player. If you get Mordekaiser ulted, you're no longer in the Lamb's Respite, which just makes no sense lore-wise. Production thinks it makes sense, but it doesn't really make any sense, because if you take someone to the Death Realm, but like, Kindred is like the core of life. I feel like they should have more influence over death than some guy in armor who really likes chopped cheeses. That's a Bronx reference.
Well, here comes his image is gonna be put to sleep. Nice exhaust going out here from Jason, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. They were able to pick up the tower, but the tower was able to pick up the Silva.
Yeah, Silva dies. Mordekaiser keeps cooking. Space Waters.
Oh, Dunk is just doing the most right now, and by not doing anything at all, just using his abilities. And Space Wallace is just intimidated to no end.
Yeah, Dunk pretty much just pushing the wave, taking advantage of his CS lead, 50 now. Also, this is like a pretty difficult matchup for Ornn. This is kind of a marquee summit matchup. You blind pick the Ornn and get the Mordekaiser counter. As Space Walrus sends that shit north.
Blue team, Kindred managed to pick that up. Dunk, not a jungler, so unfortunately doesn't have the smite, but that was a good pressure play, and now they're just gonna, they didn't get the rift, so now they're just gonna take the top lane. Oh, Thim is in quite an awkward spot, gets hooked, tries to flash away, but Silva's just gonna dash around, And field goal right through, just thread the needle right there through both the support and the jungler and able to pick up the 80 carry. That was clean.
Yeah, really quite the snipe there from Silva. I'm surprised that they were able to get a kill there. Obviously, they still lose the Herald, and they do lose a member as
Turris
well.
coming out for round 2, misses the hook. I think it was the first miss that we saw this game from him.
Yeah, we could roll with that. He's been playing good. We'll give him that credit. I think we've seen him miss a few, but he's been pretty spot on overall. A really solid performance on the Blitzcrank. 2-2 and 5 here for Alturas.
Looking for potentially another Hex Flash play here. Silva just dancing around the map, and Godspeed also in the bush right here. If they find a single hook, it could just be absolutely nights out for whoever is in that. And it looks like there's another Hex Flash. I don't know if we quite saw that, but it looked like I saw the Blitzcrank just dash on the map right there.
Yeah, Hex Flash is on cooldown, so he might have been doing some stuff. Yeah, the Drake up here in a minute, and it is Hex Soul, so this is the most powerful soul in the game, in my opinion. Jason
nice little hook right there. Jason gonna go down. That was immediately just taken out.
Yeah, he was making his case earlier for one of the 10 players that knows how to play League, but after that one, clearing the ward into a Blitzcrank. Tough death there. I don't really think it'll influence the state of the game too much, obviously, with the Drake being up for 44 more seconds, or not being up for 44 more seconds, and too early for Baron as Godspeed is on the menu.
Truth remains coming in here. They might have gotten a pick earlier from blue team, but now their mid laner is going to go down. That is a nice trade, especially when Dragon is just about to come up.
Yep, that'll be good. Godspeed does have the TP available, and he respawns pretty much right on the Dragon timer, so if they wanted to try to fight for this, they could. Gator's going to take this thing for a spin.
Do a nice little 180 around the block, and here comes the Beaver Brigade, ready to make something happen. Dunk is just going in there, actually gets pulled by Alturas. Nice little peel right there. Blitzcrank, you can peel people too. It's amazing. You might be able to hook people and catch them out, but you can also peel if you have smart positions. So that was really nice hook right there. Krusty Trap gonna go in here. A Hex Flash coming out, pulling onto Dunk. I don't know if that's the person you want to pull, but Dunk is now front lighting inside. OT Gator gonna have to throw out the Kindred ulti to prevent anyone from dying. And here comes World of Soup teleporting in. Kindred ulti last, and there goes OT Gator gonna fall down. Mordekaiser clawing 2 people, and Dunk was just in there. Altair's been hitting these hooks, but I don't know if that was the one you want to hit.
Yeah, I mean, BB pretty much just cashed a check from the early game right there. Dunk ults OT Gator, pulls him into the Death Realm, basically removing the possibility of a Kindred influencing the fight because Gator has to use it in the 1v1. And if Dunk didn't ult there, Silva might have been able to shred him. But obviously that wasn't the case. The wallet is just too big for the side of Beaver Brigade. They're going to collect the Drake. They're going to collect the mid-inner. And this is, game-winning momentum here. You're so far ahead. The next Drake is Soul Point. You have Baron spawning. You can pretty much choose to win the game. And whichever flavor you prefer, either fighting for the Drake or fighting for the Baron, they'll be able to have their pick. Dunk is just so strong. World Soup also 5-2 and 5. Nice performance from them. And Vi as well. Truth remains whether or not this guy is a Smurf. But he's played really, really well so far. 130 CS, stayed even with Gator here on the Kindred. Silva gonna look.
Oh, a nice little Kindred ulti, but they actually missed the hook right there. I believe Thim ghosted, but it doesn't matter. Blitzcrank has the flash, the knockup. It's not enough to take the kill. And now Blitzcrank's out of steam, going to be kited in reverse, and is going to be picked up by the Ashe.
Yeah, nice dodge from Thim. Alturas almost lines the hook and then goes in for the possible follow-up. I kind of like that play from Alturas, but I think Silva didn't really see it coming. Neither did I. So he wasn't in range to actually hit Thim, and then Thim able to kite back, and then once Blitzcrank's running away, that'll be the end for the robots.
Yeah, it's looking. This is Still in like a way, kind of looking a little bit better than last game for the Krusty Trap. Like I feel like
Yeah.
there's definitely more of a chance for them to win. But Beaver Brigade just absolutely dominating. Got double the kills and then one more. Got 3 dragons with Hex Dragon coming up. That's an absolutely insane one. So it's gonna be looking tough. Space Wallace is on a better character, I do believe. I feel like this is a better pick to benefit the team if they can land a good ulti. Speaking of, they're going for a little bit of a 1v1 situation up here with the mid laner, but the ulti doesn't really have much left, and now World of Soup might go out for the kite right there.
Yeah, Spaceballer is looking for revenge on somebody, and World Soup happens to be around, but obviously the Ornn doesn't really have that much damage, so the potential to kill World Soup is not really there, even though he is able to take the trade. Gator was moving up, but is now heading back towards the mid lane, matching the Vi's position here. Might be caught out, though.
Oh, this might be a dangerous spot for Gator. There's a big Vi with a fist charging up, misses the Q, but is able to be... Oh, actually picked up by Altaris, and now actually going to be executed by the Kindred, and that's some good shutdown from the Kindred. That is exactly what you want to see when you're on the Krusty Trap side, and Space Roll's getting slapped up by the Lissandra right there. This might be a Baron play, potentially. They're going to take out some wards, hopefully set something up.
Yeah, a couple kills on the Gator. World Soup in a bit of trouble.
In from the backside. Oh, World Soup trying to flash over the Blitzcrank. Followed up with the Zonias, and it is actually enough to keep them alive, so nicely done.
Yeah, well played by World Soup using the Hourglass. Knew that Altaris was going to try to walk back after the knockup to maximize the hook range. Just able to get the Zonias off. As Dunk is going to keep taking these towers, there's really no answer for the split push here.
Ignoring this dude, and he's going to claw him up. He might be able to take the kill if he can get a nasty claw like he did with the other... Oh, with the dash prediction. Oh, there's the dash, and it is actually enough, so Dunk just dominating again and again and again.
Yeah, Dunk on these types of champions, Darius, Mordekaiser, Aatrox. This guy is like the prototypical top laner. Picking these champs, winning lane, carrying from the side lane. Really living up to the name here.
Yeah, I'm liking he loves to play a lot of good dunking champions, so I don't know if it is within the lore, the dunk lore, but you know, we see the Darius, the Aatrox, the Mordekaiser, some fabulous dunk characters.
Yeah, no, he really does seem to live up to the name. He pretty much only plays, from what I can tell, like those champions, they dunk on people, which is pretty sick. The fact that his name is just Dunk in all caps.
I love that. Some good lore. Altaris, not really in a good spot to be hooking anybody, but you know, doing the support thing, clearing the wards. Might be finding a mid lane fight here soon. We have Jason going in for some damage. Not really a lot of poke that they can do, but you know, you have to throw out your abilities while you got them.
Yeah, so Space Walrus and Godspeed are both already at this fight. Godspeed does have TP, but they have not opted to move him top. So World Soup is just pushing with teleport available, but there are 5 members of TKT here, so they're going to go ahead and look for an engage. They have the Ornhorn available. They have the Blitzcrank. They need to try to find a pick.
Looks for the Vi pick, but it was just a little bit behind, and now Thim is going to absolutely fight everything out of the Space Walrus. Jason going in for a big ulti right there is just going to get absolutely taken up. And now Dunk is going to teleport in, eats 2 members. There goes the Kindred. No Kindred available online. And now the blue team has to scatter around.
Yeah, Civil's level 13, Dunk is level 16. They just cannot touch this Mordekaiser. TKT used several of their crucial cooldowns on the initial fight, which does go in their favor. They found Jason, they found Truth Remains, but as soon as Dunk comes into the teleport, that first Q just did so much more damage than anyone, including myself, expected. And at that point, the fight was already over. It does end up going 2 for 2, but the Baron, Sylvan Altaris, might be cooked here.
And here comes Dunk while he's keeping his team from doing the dragon. And he's just gonna just absolutely one-man army this bot lane. not even a scratch on him, and he's just slapping up everybody so much damage. And the Hex Tech Dragon Soul is online, so there's just even more damage for this Mordekaiser. He is looking like the raid boss that we all know and love.
Yeah, not super interactive there for Silva. They try to check the bush together, but Dunk immediately just ults him. He sends him on a trip. I forgot what the train is that goes to the Bronx. It's not the A line. But anyways, yeah, Dunk just immediately ults him, knocks him down despite the flash over the wall from Silva. And at this point, Beaver Brigade is firmly in the lead. They have a 10,000 gold lead. They just took the Baron. A couple towers left to take. The bot inner, I imagine, will be the target as well, as with consistent pressure mid. But at this point, it's not really possible for TKT to win a fight as long as Dunk's mouse stays plugged in.
I just want to see those Mordekaisers secede from both teams and have the ability to 1v9, because we all know that it could happen.
Yeah, no, that would actually be pretty interesting. Could he legitimately 1v9? Maybe.
Do it. If there
Probably
was
not,
perfect focus and communication, definitely not. But
yeah, it's too much CC. Lissandra ult, Vi ult, yeah, Nico. But I mean, he would ult someone. He would kill at least one person, so it'd really be 1v8. And if he ulted Lissandra or Nico, it took all the AP, and then we could do some nasty stuff. But
looks like they're just gonna leave him alone. Yeah, he's any person that goes in that lane is absolutely inting and griefing and should be kicked from the team.
Honestly, so when these waves are not synced, so when the mid wave is not on the tower but the bot wave is on the tower, you need to pick a fight in one of these lanes. So they had a slight window, maybe a few seconds there, that they could have possibly used the Ornhorn to engage. Instead, they're going to use it to clear the wave. But obviously with that window now gone, you have waves on both of your towers. So you don't really have a strong engage window here. And the wave clear for the side of TKT is quite poor.
Oh, it's going to be so hard to get this dunk down, and as soon as you do, he's going to have his Zonias available. But they are going to make an attempt at it. He's now dropping to 50% HP. Space Walrus frontlining. Ultras possibly frontlining. Tries to pull out Dunk from the Kindred ulti. Dunk now uses the Zonias and is going to live while Blitzcrank dies to the Janna and Silva trying to do so much. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, just cannot interact. This is probably the most fun and interactive game for Kindred yet, or for Silva yet. And it looks like Beaver Brigade is just going to siege the entire game while they're all dead. So, well played to Beaver Brigade, takes out the Krusty Trap, and that is a swift 2-0.
Yeah, pretty swift 2-0. Truth remains, God tier sub. Jason, maybe take a couple notes on the jungle pathing. Jokes, obviously. Really well played though by Jason on support. Role swapping and then having such a proficient performance is very impressive. And on very different champions as well. Going from Maokai to Janna, there are tons of support mains in this league that cannot play both of those champions.
The synergy coming out, the synergy and the communication coming out from both those players is very, very impressive. So yeah, well played to them. Thank you to everybody that tuned in today for the Summit Esports League. This is our Summit Premier League Season 3, Week 5 for the Beaver Brigade and the Krusty Trap. Nice 2 again from the Beaver Brigade. And we will see you guys next time.
Yes, we will.